Welcome to the Bushido gang. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Attack on Samurott, bringing you all, the final part of the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Teal Mask DLC move list. So this is it. This is the last bit of it. I do apologize for delaying it and everything, but here we go. So before we get started, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on my social media links and check out my Discord, the Bushido Gang. All those links will be down in the description. So here we go. All right. I'm gonna be covering Gen 8 and Gen 9. So gonna start off right away with Rillaboom. So Rillaboom didn't get anything new back besides Grassy Glide and High Horsepower. Grassy Glide we knew was gonna come back anyway because I mean it was just expected. It's Rillaboom makes the move, right? Rillaboom really is what really makes the move. High Horsepower being back is good though. Can use that as its ground coverage over Earthquake since Earthquake doesn't work in grassy terrain. Unfortunately, Rillaboom didn't get a superpower back. So either Rillaboom is getting it as, or either Rillaboom is just gonna get another fighting step or another fighting coverage move, or superpower is coming back as a TM. Either way. Either or, we'll see what happens. But no superpower for Rillaboom. So if it wants to use fighting coverage, it's gonna have to go with like low kick or even brick break. Brick break actually isn't too bad right now because of screens being everywhere. But honestly, Rillaboom probably prefers like a stronger grass or stronger like fighting stab. So like Hammer Arm is fine, but a lot of the time you can just go Wood Hammer, knock off U-turn, and then slide in there, good to go. Because I mean that basically covers everything. But yeah, so that's Rillaboom. Inteleon keeps Scald and gets Flip Turn back as, or actually no, gets Flip Turn. I think it had Flip Turn before. Let me check real quick. I'm pretty sure it had Flip Turn last gen. Let's see, Inteleon. Intelligente. Did Inteleon have Flip Turn? Really, it didn't get Flip Turn last gen? Hold on, wait. No, really, it didn't get Flip Turn last gen, huh? That's very surprising. Unless it's down here. No, it never got Flip Turn. I mean, it had U-turn anyway. Now it gets stabbed with Flip Turn, so I guess that's cool. But like, it doesn't really change too much. But yeah, it has all of its moves back, and it has Vacuum Wave too as well. So that could be kind of cool on like on the spec set. So now you got priority on that, which is not too bad. But besides that though, until I didn't really change too much. Pretty much got everything I'd already had back. All right, Greedent. Greedent gets knockoff and High Horsepower for the first time, so that's pretty cool. I've never used this mon before, but I know it does get Belly Drum. So Belly Drum knockoff is always nice. And unfortunately, Greedent's very slow, so you got to use it on Trick Room with Belly Drum. So it's kind of like having a weaker Snorlax. So yeah. Drednaw got High Horsepower back. That's cool. So Drednaw could run that on like rain teams. Or not rain teams, but like, I guess rain with terrain. So if you're running it with a grassy terrain, then you can do that as well with the Shell Smash set. But I think Shell Smash sets don't really run ground coverage. I think it's like water, rock, and then dark coverage. Let me check real quick. I don't think I've ever used Drednaw before. I might be wrong though. Let me check Drednaw real quick. But I know Drednaw didn't get Shell Smash until this generation. So I might have to check the stats for this gen. So let's see. I'm assuming that Drednaw, is Drednaw an RU? Let me see. No, it is not an RU. Is it banned from, it's probably banned from PU though, or for NU though. Yeah, it's banned from NU though. Let me see what this thing does real quick, just out of curiosity. Drednaw, yeah, just stone, water, and rock coverage. Again, you can go Earthquake if you really want to. But yeah, I mean, this is from monotype, so it doesn't really like equivalate the same way, but you get what I mean. I'm guessing like in NU I can understand why this mon got banned. Again, Shell Smash, and also it's a pretty strong Swift Swim setter or Swift Swim super as well. I understand why this thing had to go. Mon's actually pretty damn strong, especially when it has Jet as well. I believe it has Jet too. Oh, it doesn't have Aqua Jet, huh? So then what's your priority move on Rain? Oh, you don't have one. This thing's kind of ass. This is kind of ass. Let's get Jet. That sucks. I mean, it's still pretty strong anyway. But yeah, and Shell Smashing things. Yeah, so that covers Drednaw. Drednaw has all of its stuff back, basically. Coalossoal gets high horsepower and Scald back. That's cool. Both of those are great options. Coalossoal, love that on, can use that, you know, in grassy terrain with the Thwacky and whatnot. Scald is pretty nice. Pretty nice as that back, but it already had like a way of burning things. But Scald's still, you know, Scald's always a good move no matter what. I'm very surprised. Actually, I'm not actually surprised since Coalossoal is, you know, like the steam engine thing, or it's like based off of a steam engine. So you know, like scalding water and all that stuff. It makes sense. It makes sense why it gets to keep Scald, because I mean it learned it originally anyway. But yeah, that's cool. It's cool it gets it. Or got it back. All right, next is Sandaconda. Sandaconda gets high horsepower and scale shot back. That's cool. Love those moves. Not much else to really say about it. I guess on like a coil, so you can run scale shot now. So you have a way of boosting your speed, which is pretty cool. High horsepower is whatever. Again, I feel like some of the high horse options are better for like VGC's sake. So like having, you know, Sandaconda with high horsepower to like boost something with weakness policy could be nice for VGC. Besides that though, it's whatever. And I guess if you're running it in terrain, again, going back to the whole terrain thing, Sandaconda can appreciate that. Flip turn. I mean by that. I mean, that's basically what the mod is. It's flip turn. Barraskewda got flip turn back. This was the move that broke Barraskewda back in Gen 8. This is pretty much what made it like kind of run ladder for a while until people discovered Sun. So people started to use Sun to counter it. So yeah, Barraskewda with flip turn was a menace. It was a menace, and it was very much busted. Of course, it got to a point where, you know, people started to run more counters for it. And the meta just started to really calm down at that point. And plus, you know, like bulkier things are coming around. This is a meta as well. You know, as the metagame kept improving, especially when Crown Tundra came out, because I don't remember seeing Barraskewda during that time. So let me check Gen 8 real quick. Excuse me, but yeah. Again, it's a solid mon, but like, or it was a solid mon on rain, but like, it only like, oh, it's still, oh, you never remember that. Wait, hold on, I didn't see it. I'm blind. Oh, it's the very first mon. It's the very first. Yeah, so on rain, it was still pretty strong. Very strong with flip turn. So again, just got continuous momentum with it, and again, it just hit everything really, really hard in rain. But yeah. Next is Hat. So Hat gets Misty Explosion back. That could be cool for some Sash sets. Like if you're running Sash in terrain, or Sash in, actually I guess Sash in terrain maybe if you want something, you know, to get out of priority. But also, I mean, like Sash on Trick Room, that's pretty cool. Because then you have a way of, you know, getting your, you have a way of setting your Trick Room up and then having your having your mon, like, boom on it, or boom whatever comes in, or Healing Wish. Either way, Healing Wish is still the better option, but at least you get damage with Hat. Next is Falinks. So Falinks gets knockoff, lunge, and high horsepower for the first time. Now this is nice. This is a good buff. This is a really good buff. Falinks missed a couple things when it first debuted, right? Like it missed. I mean, it got throat chop. It got throat chop through level up, I believe. No, that might have been a TM. I think throat chop was a TM, but it got that through level. It got that last gen. It didn't have ground coverage though. So it didn't have a way to cover for like, you know, like bulkier, I guess like bulkier like fires, bulkier like just things neutrally that ground would cover for. It didn't have anything to really hit that hard with, so it pretty much had to rely on like CC or like flinching with Iron Head, or again you're running like Band or Scarf, then you had those options too. But again, like having ground coverage is always good. So I think Falinks is gonna appreciate that. I think it's gonna do pretty well with the no retreat set in PU. Don't know if it'll see NU usage though, but I do think that this mon's gonna appreciate knockoff and ground coverage. So this mon will definitely be seeing some more play. So that's very cool to see. Funnily enough, Falinks is one of the first mons I actually started building in NU with. I believe. Pretty sure it was NU that I started building with it. Yeah, it was definitely NU. It was in the beginning parts of the NU metagame for Gen 8. For Gen 8 NU. I tried building around it and I was pretty disappointed by its performance. It wasn't as good as I thought it'd be. And that's also because Falinks now Falinks has sword stance and agility. It's something it didn't have last gen, I believe. Last gen it didn't get that. Let me just see real quick, because last year pretty much it relied on, let me just check real quick. Nope, I'm wrong. No, I'm wrong. My bad. I'm sorry. It already had these moves. It already had these moves to begin with. I just wanted to try on No Retreat, because I mean, No Retreat's already that Omni boost, but you can't switch. But with Agility and Sword Dance, you actually can. But again, it's a toss-up really with Falinks. If you want to go Agility plus Sword Stance, then you have to go with like 2 stabs or 2 coverage options, being, you know, like fighting Dark or like fighting Steel, or even fighting Poison too. But yeah, now it has other options with knockoff and high horsepower. So yeah, that pretty much covers for the Falinks. Next is going to be Pincurchin. Pincurchin got Scald back. That's cool. Loves having more utility. Burning things is always a cool thing, but gotta wait till Rising Voltage. So again, it seems like all the terrain-based moves are going to be coming back in DLC 2, along with like some other moves as well that are missing from this list, or from the Isle of Armor list, like Corrosive Gas, Coaching. There are a couple others, but those are like 2 of them that I remember that didn't make it in this list. So yeah, like all the strong moves made it here. All the strong moves that, you know, everyone loved spamming are back, or got in this DLC. But now we gotta wait for DLC 2 when it comes out. Probably like, I'm gonna guess we're gonna get DLC 2 sometime like late November, early December, since, you know, that's around holiday times. So we're probably gonna have to wait until that comes out. But yeah, Stonjourner got Heat Crash and High Horsepower back. That's cool. Fire coverage is always nice on rock types, so Stonjourner's gonna love that to just crush steel types and crush anything that's that weighs very much less than it. High Horse is nice too. I think it already had Earthquake though, but could be cool for, again, like terrain stuff. You know, Stonjourner is a better mon in VGC anyway, because of its ability in a Power Trick or whatever, Power Spot. But yeah, next is Eiscue. Eiscue got Flip Turn. Whatever. This mon's a better sweeper than actually being a pivot. That's just my opinion. But do what you want with that. Indeedee female has access to a Trick Room now, and also has to wait for Expanding Force. So right now the only mon that can run Expanding Force for VGC is, I believe, Armarouge. So it's the mon that pretty much takes advantage of it at the moment. So Indeedee apparently didn't get the female version never got Trick Room in the game, so that's very odd. I guess, you know, Game Freak's a little oopsie, so they fixed it, and now I can learn it. So just took them, you know, like what, 5-6 months, I think. No, longer than that. Longer than that, almost a full year. So yeah. All right, Morpeko got knockoff. That's cool. Nice little utility option. You can switch between, you know, like knocking and also going for Aura Wheel, depending on the set. Now, I was a Morpeko enjoyer. Morpeko was very fun. That mon was actually one of the first mons I used in a tournament in NU. And man, let me tell you about Gen 8 NU, the early days of Gen 8 NU, man. That metagame was fun. Oh my goodness, that metagame was so damn fun to play. It was so fun to play. You could really use so many things, and like you didn't really care like what happened. Like it felt like the most free metagame for me, in my opinion. Like I loved that metagame so much. Yeah, I really did enjoy Gen 8 NU's metagame before Isle of Armor came out. I mean, it got better once the Isle of Armor mons dropped in, like, you know, like Sandslash and like some other things. I think Sandslash was already base game though, if I recall. But yeah, again, the meta got better once more things started to drop in, and yeah. But again, like I said, I'm pretty happy with Morpeko getting knockoff is still really cool. Again, I ran Choice Band with it for a tournament game, and it did pretty well for me. It did very well, actually. It did pretty good for me. Choice Band was definitely like a nice little like option for Morpeko. You could run Boots on it too, just have it as a utility option with Spin and like, you know, Volt Turn and Volt Switch stuff if you really want to go that route. But Band was pretty fun. So yeah, I think the utility set's gonna appreciate knockoff more than going banned. Since again with going banned, you're locked into running Aura Wheel. And again, Aura Wheel goes by the typing that Morpeko is at the moment. So, or actually no, it keeps swapping. So it'll be electric, then it'll go to dark every other turn. Since it just kind of like flips, since it kind of flips because of hunger mode or hangry mode. But yeah, I think knockoff's gonna be better on the utility set outside of choice band. That's just my opinion. Life Orb might not be bad either, but if I think you want to keep this thing around utility wise, you know, for spinning and whatnot. So I think knockoff's gonna be better on that kind of set. All right, this is a pretty big deal. A lot of NU players are gonna love this. So Copperajah not only got Heat Crash back, which is actually a very big deal, by the way. That move, Heat Crash on Copperajah was so good, man. Cause in the good old NU days, Heat Crash just kind of like clapped everything for real. Cause I mean, like a lot of monsters is pretty frail, but also like fire coverage on a mon like this is good because it covers for Rotom. That's another mon it covers for. Like it covered for Rotom pretty well with Heat Crash. Covered for opposing grasses like Vileplume and like Serena on switching. But yeah, it was just a pretty strong move in general. It just covered for a lot. And again, like having a fire move that can also, or being a steel type that also has fire coverage to hit like, you know, the grasses and whatnot, it's just so good. And also hitting Escavalier, that's a very big deal as well. Since, you know, Raja outspeeds it naturally. So yeah, that was a good move. That was a very good move, and I'm glad to see it back. So I don't know if it appreciates it now as much, cause like Heat Crash. Let me see Heat Crash Copperajah right now. Well, it dunks on this. There is Terra to factor in too. Gotta remember Terra's still a thing. But I mean, none of these mons really want to stand on Copperajah to begin with, especially Caragonal. That mon does not want to stand on Raja unless it has something to actually hit it back with, which it doesn't. Decidueye gets hit by that. Heat Crash dumps on that. Heat Crash dumps on Frostlass. Not much is Glass, since Glass is heavier. Dumps on. No, you have heavy. No. Heavisom's probably going to do more. We have knockoff now, so there's that. Again, knockoff's there on Raja, but again, I'm going to talk about that. Heat Crash jumps on that. I think it's still going to be good, but it probably won't be like as good as it used to be. That's just my opinion, though. But knockoff is actually the one move that I think Raja probably needed, in my opinion. I mean, like the mon, again, let me just get this out the way. Copperajah is a very good utility mon in NU, because it's very bulky. Its HP, its stats are very much. You can kind of like min-max Copperajah with its EVs. So you can kind of like make it any way you want to be honest. Again, you can make it physically defensive, you can make it special defensive, you can make it like full on attacking on Trick Room, or like AV, whatever you really want to do with Raja, you can do it, and it'll probably work out for you. Now with knockoff being added on to this to Raja, now has another utility option to help its team support. So knockoff is going to be really nice on that, removing items, boots and whatnot, lefties, all those things. It's just going to be really good for Raja. And again, just adding more utilities to this thing is just going to make this mon even better. So definitely curious to see where Raja goes in the coming months. But I do think it's going to be very solid though. It'll be very solid here. But I think we're especially going to see what will happen once the Teal mask mons drop into NU in the coming months. Because again, they should probably drop sometime. They'll probably drop in November, actually. They'll drop in November, I think. No, because then the mons that are here right now drop in UU next month. Then RU in October. Oh, no, in November. No, we won't get these mons until December. So my bad. Okay. Alright, next is going to be, my bad, that's the calc. Next is going to be Zamazenta. Zamazenta gets Roar. Then that's going to be good on some body press, iron defensing set. So now you have a way of stopping mons from doing anything to you. You can just phase them out and, you know, get your momentum at that point. Of course, you have to drop Crunch, though, which I don't think a lot of players really want to do. Because, I mean, Crunch is good for hitting the ghost types. Again, being able to hit up, you know, like a Dragapult. Goldango, being able to hit all those ghost types is really key. But I mean, I guess you could just put Heavy Slam over it, but then you get walled by gold if you do that. So it's kind of a hit or miss with Zamazenta with Roar. Also, I don't know if Roar goes through good as gold. I think it does. Let me just check real quick. I feel like it does go through it. I wish there was a way you could actually like check the abilities on here, but I don't think you actually can. Let me just see something real quick. I know there's a way to open the chat for myself. Let me just see. Join chat. No, that's not what I want to do. There we go. Let me just see if this works. Data dot good as gold. Okay, so it just says it's immune to status moves, but like I'm just curious if it also involves roar, like if it's immune to phasing as well. Man, I wish it could actually show the damn what the actual ability does. It just says it's immune to status moves. That's all it says. Okay, well, I mean obviously it's ignored by Mold Breaker, but yeah, I don't know if it actually means that that it can't phase out, or it can't be phased out still. But it has roar though, so I think I'll appreciate that. That'll be good for hazard stacking teams too. So having a way to like just continuously get chip damage with spikes and rocks is still real nice on that set. Yeah, honestly, it surprises me how many mons lost roar in this generation. Like, I don't know why they removed that move. Like, what was the point in doing that? Anyways, Zarude finally got knockoff and has Grassy Glide. So Zarude getting knockoff for the first time is something it should have gotten last gen. It should have naturally learned it anyway to begin with. Because I mean, look at the mon. Look at the mon in its claws. Like, that monkey kit should definitely knock off things. But now it finally can after a generation. Yeah, so it's gonna be good for utility things. I used Zarude a lot last gen in RU, and it was pretty fun. I believe I ran like Scarf Zarude and also Band at some point. Might have ran AV as well. It was a pretty decent mon. No, I ran Bulk Up. Now I remember, it was the Bulk Up set. Bulk Up Zarude was, that mon was something else. That mon was something else with jungle healing, Bulk Up. Bulk Up, Darkest Lariat, Power Whip, and Jungle Healing. That was a Zarude set last gen. Now that's knockoff in that slot, so I think that's still gonna be good. Actually, it's not as good because Darkest Lariat went through stat buffs. Now without that, unless it still has it, but I doubt it. Because again, Darkest Lariat's gonna be Incineroar's move, and Incineroar isn't in the game yet. So maybe when it gets back in, maybe Zarude might get Darkest Lariat back. Who knows? But yeah, I think Darkest Lariat was better on this set, in my opinion. But knockoff's still good utility-wise, so they'll appreciate that on Scarf and Band sets. Alright, so Glastrier got high horsepower back. That's cool. That was definitely a ground move it missed. And yeah, it's going to be solid in NU right now. And especially when you have Terra involved with that mon as well. Oh, that mon going to be going places, man. I remember seeing someone, use a Terra Electric last year, and it was running like Terra Blast plus Ice Cover, so it was running a Bolt Beam set. That looked crazy. So that looked pretty insane. But yeah, now that it has ground coverage again, outside of Stopping Tantrum being like base 75 and being weaker, High Horse is gonna be much better for it. So it'll definitely appreciate that. All right, next is Wyrdeer. Wyrdeer got high horsepower, got a high horsepower, and has lunge. These moves don't matter in my opinion. I think Wyrdeer needs like Swords Dance. Wyrdeer needs Swords Dance or like some setup option to actually do something on the physical side. Cause like I'm not saying Wyrdeer is a bad like special attacking mon. Cause special it's actually pretty strong, but like it's more of a mixed mon in a sense. But still, they really should have given that mon. They should have given Wyrdeer like some physical setup option. And also fighting coverage as well. Its only fighting move is gonna be double kick, and that's not too good. So yeah, they need to give that mon something else. Cause like let me tell you right now, this mon ain't it. This mon ain't it on the physical side. It's pretty bad on the physical side. If you want to go physical with it, you definitely can. But you're gonna be disappointed. I'm just gonna let you know you're gonna be disappointed. Cause like you have no way of setup with this unless you run like weakness policy with it, which you're probably not gonna do. But like I said, that's all that Wyrdeer can really do. And again, like I mentioned before, it's only fighting coverages in double kick. So like it's really not the best in terms of that. And yeah, it also got roar. So it has roar now, so it can phase, but like it doesn't really matter. Again, this is a very weird mon. This mon's very fucking weird. Like at least with like Farafrig at least has something it can do. Because of its stats in general. Like its stats kind of like really take them on much further than it's allowed because of the stat distribution it has. Like it pretty much has the same kind of moveset or move pool as Wyrdeer, but just has, you know, more things it can do. Just has a little bit more things it can do. And yeah, it just stands out just slightly more in comparison. But yeah, just a little bit more. It's just a much bulkier Wyrdeer. And that's why this mon is still here in NU. But I think it might drop, honestly. Haven't seen really anything with this mon as of late in NU. So yeah, I think this mon may end up dropping into PU at some point. So it'll probably be here with Wyrdeer. Which would be really funny to see. Gotta compete against who's the shittier normal psychic type. So before I go any further on you know, like going off on these Hisuian mons, or going off on, you know, Wyrdeer and Farafrig, I just want to say I'm so happy these mons have evolutions now. Again, Girafarig and Stantler needed an evolution years ago, but they finally got it after like 7 generations. So it's good to see them get some kind of love though. All right, Kleavor got Lunge and Dual Wing Beat. Honestly, I would be happy if Kleavor had Technician. Then this would be a nice buff, but it doesn't. So like Dual Wing Beat's whatever. Air Release is much better on the sharpness set, so just use that over Dual Wing Beat. And Lunge is whatever too. Like it, I mean, actually it is Sheer Force boosted. It does get Sheer Force, so I guess Lunge isn't bad on that set, right? Look at Kleavor really real quick. But yeah, Kleavor does get Sheer Force, so it can use that. It can use a Lunge, because Lunge is actually gonna be boosted, since it does get a stat buff, or to have like a secondary effect. So this isn't bad. This isn't too bad. I guess you can run that on like a Life Orb set, so like Life Orb Lunge. Unless there's something better here, but yeah, if you're not using it on a if you aren't running Sharpness and decide to go Sheer Force, then I think Lunge is gonna be better for you for the stat. But yeah, that covers for Kleavor. Alright, next is gonna be Basculegion. So this was a big one right here. This was something that people were expecting, you know, because since Basculegion can only use Last Respect as its only like ghost stab, you know, people were hoping that we get something more than just, you know, Last Respects, but no. No, Game Freak said, y'all getting Flip Turn and y'all gonna shut up, and that's what happened. So Basculegion has Flip Turn now, which is cool. That means that also Basculegion has it as well. And I believe it had it last gen anyway. So, because I think Basculegion was in Gen 8 last gen, wasn't it? Let me check real quick. I'm pretty sure Basculegion was here last gen too. I'm in PU. Oh really? It wasn't here? Or am I tripping? I feel like Bax was here. Or Basculegion was here. Oh, no, here it is. Yeah, did it get Flip Turn here too? Or no, it never got Flip. Wait, hold on. Oh, it did get Flip Turn last year. Okay, never mind. So it got it back. Which means that again, also Basculegion having it now. So Basculegion getting Flip Turn is really strong on that. Now it can basically act like Barraskewda, but you know, just hitting a little bit stronger, not as fast, but still has, you know, Flip Turn to get momentum. So I do think that in the future we'll probably see like some kind of like combo with Barra and Bask, or again like vice versa. I do think Bask hits a little bit harder than Barra, just because Barra doesn't have, you know, Wave Crash. So Bask is gonna hit just slightly harder on that side, and yeah, that's why Bask is just a little bit higher than Barraskewda at the moment, just because of that. But yeah, Flip Turn is gonna just add on to that too, and just make it, you know, really stand out. So I think it's gonna be good for Bask, and just gonna see where that goes. But it really is unfortunate it didn't get Poltergeist, because it would have loved that move. Alright, lastly, Enamorus got Weather Ball. That doesn't matter too much. Again, like all the genies got it, so Enamorus being the fourth one, getting it, you know, makes sense. but nothing else really. It didn't get knockoff either. So, and that's a good thing actually. That's a very good thing it didn't get knockoff, because this mon with its secondary ability and contrary, superpower plus knockoff, that could be something. That could definitely be something. I mean, obviously, Thundurus in the past could do it. Not anymore since it didn't have superpower, but you get what I mean. But yeah. Alright, so next is gonna be Gen 9. Oh yeah, I guess to finish off Enamorus. Again, you could probably use this on like any weather. With it being a fairy type, again, fairy hits everything neutrally. To be honest, like it hits everything pretty neutrally. I don't really think Weather Ball matters too much, especially because it already has like other coverage options, like Mystical Fire. Gets grass coverage. I think it gets grass coverage. I might be tripping about that. I'm pretty sure it gets Grass Knot. I think it got Grass Knot. Let me check real quick so I know what I'm talking about. I feel like it did get a Grass move, but I might be tripping. Nope, I'm right. It did get Grass Knot. So that's Grass Knot. Mystical Fire. Sledge Bomb, Superpower. It has all these other utility options on it. So like, having knockoff, if it did get knockoff, it would have been a little crazy. But going back to Weather Ball, which is the main topic, Weather Ball is like whatever for it. It'll be cool on rain. It'll be cool on sun. It'll be cool on snow. But it doesn't really need it. So yeah. All right. Lastly, Gen 9. All right, here we go. This is the last list. All right, Quaquaval got Flip Turn and Knockoff. Sick. Awesome. It needed more though. It needed that. It really needed to have Flip Turn and Knockoff. So now Quaquaval is pretty much gonna be like a semi. Knockoff is really interesting on this. It's very interesting on this mon. Cause its signature move allows it to continuously gain speed. So it has that speed boost going on with it. Plus, Moxie. So with knockoff on its slots, like you can just run an SD set with like knockoff, Aqua Step, and like a fighting type move, and you're good to go. And Quaquaval just like destroys everybody. so Quaquaval is definitely, or Quaquaval. Quaquaval is definitely going to be a pretty dangerous mon with a Sword Stance set. And it seems like it's more than likely going to get Triple Axle, because it's a dancer. It's a dancing type of mon, so it'll more than likely get Triple Axle too. Because it already has Ice Spinner too. But yeah, I could definitely see it get Triple Axle in the future. So we'll have to wait and see. Flip Turn's whatever. It already has U-Turn. If you want to run Scarf, you can run Scarf with Flip Turn for the stab. I think U-Turn's just a little bit better since U-Turn hits everything naturally, or hits everything neutrally. But that's just my take on it. Oinkologne got high horsepower. Whatever. Spidops got knockoff. That's cool, I guess. Utility option for a web setter is nice. Not much else to really say though. Now this one is crazy, man. They gave Lokix knockoff. How the fuck you gonna do that, man? How you gonna do that, man? Give it knockoff to Lokix? A mon that hits everything with tinted lens? Oh, Game Freak is just, this is great. This is great. This is amazing. Sword Stance sets are gonna love that. Choice Band's gonna love that too, since it hits everything neutrally. Yeah, this mon is going to go places. Unfortunately, though, it's a very frail mon, so it's not gonna make it to OU. It'll be, it could be used in OU, but like it's not gonna be used very successfully. I've tried it myself. I've tried using it myself, and it's a mon you need a lot of support with it. You need a lot of support for it to work. Hits very hard though, but like it needs its support to really get going. But still, cool it has knockoff. Alright, Pawmot got knockoff. That's really cool. Another utility option to hit everything. And definitely appreciates that. Pawmot's a very unique mon because of that move in Revival Blessing. So now it has more utility to add on to that too. So if I'm wrong, I don't think Pawmot gets Sword Stance, but again, the mon hits very hard anyway. So it having like dark coverage is always a good thing. Being able to hit the ghost types is nice and whatnot. So it'll definitely appreciate it. I think it gets Sword Stance. No, it doesn't get Sword Stance. My bad. Okay, but it does get bulk up though. It does get bulk up. So I guess you can run like a bulk up knockoff set, something similar to what to what like Girder does in something similar to what like Girder and like Conkeldurr do. But like obviously the mon isn't as tanky as those two. But still, knockoff isn't bad on that. Scarf sets will probably appreciate it. Band sets will appreciate it. Life Orb I guess will appreciate it too. But yeah, so cool option. Alright, this is the big one. They gave this mon Poltergeist. Ceruledge is Poltergeist now. You know what that means? Do you know what this means? This mon can now compete with Armarouge. Well, no, not that, but like this mon having like actual Ghost Stab is so good. Like this is the greatest thing ever. It finally has Ghost Stab it can use. So Poltergeist is free on everybody, except for like the mons that like use their item. The boost energy mons. All the Paradox mons that can use boost energy. Besides them, Poltergeist is free on everybody. So that's gonna be very, very nice. Swords and Sets are gonna appreciate Poltergeist with that. You could go Band too. But Band's going to be a little bit more difficult to get off. But I think Sword Stance Poltergeist is very nice on this. 125 attack with Poltergeist. Oh, you got to be shitting me, man. Got to be shitting me. I think that hits harder. That's actually... this is actually the hardest hitting Poltergeist user we have now. It actually is. It's going to be the strongest Poltergeist user now. So that's really cool. That's very, very cool. This mon gonna be hitting really hard, so we're gonna have to wait and see where this mon goes. I feel like it might have. I think with Poltergeist now being on this mon, it might have its way into. It might get its way into OU, but I'm a little uncertain about that still, just because of some other things. Priority is another thing. When it comes to like Greninja, also Asugan Samurai with Sucker Punch. It's the priority can still stop this thing, but still I do think it's gonna be fun to see Poltergeist on this. I wonder if the bulk up set would run Poltergeist. I feel like it would. So that means you'd have to drop Sneak on this. So I mean, do you really need priority on this though? I mean, you do need priority, but you don't at the same time. But now with Poltergeist, it'll actually be able to damage stuff like Heatran too, if you're running the bulk up set. This one's gonna be interesting with that. So I can't wait to see what happens with Ceruledge, but definitely a good buff. Bellybolt gets Toxic and Weather Ball back. That's very random, but Bellybolt's a frog, so I guess it makes sense that it gets Toxic, so that's cool. Weather Ball's also interesting too, so you can run this on Rain, and I think that'll be pretty solid on it. So it can actually cover for its rain checks. Covering for its rain checks. With Toxic and whatnot. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, I think it's gonna appreciate that. That's gonna be pretty cool on it. Bellybolt already has a way to hit like water types with Soak, so you can just soak whatever comes in and then just Thunderbolt them, or in general. So like it's still not bad, right? It's not a bad option for it. But yeah, I don't know too much else about Bellybolt. But I think Toxic is gonna be a really big deal on this thing. And we're really going to see what this mod can do on like more balanced install teams. Bombastive gets Lash Out. Cool. I guess that's cool if you get intimidated. If you get intimidated, then you do double the damage. Could actually work on a guard. It could work on like the guard dog sets too. Maybe even Stakeout too. So like it has some unique things it can do with this. But besides that though, the mon's whatever. Alright, Brambleghast gets Poltergeist. Again, this is up there with Ceruledge. This mon now has like strong Ghost Stab. So this mon can actually be a bit more of a legit like threat in a sense with Poltergeist. Because I mean its attack set's not that bad. It's not that bad being 115. So it'll definitely appreciate you running this on like more utility sets. Just to like punish things a little bit more and whatnot. So I think it's gonna be really good on this. The baby also gets it too. Bramblin also gets Poltergeist. So I think that's going to be really good in Little Cup too. And that mon will be able to just get off its more powerful stab outside of running like Power Whip and everything like that. Again, I've tried the mon before in Little Cup. And it's not bad in Little Cup, right? It just sucks that it doesn't have good Ghost Stab. Now it does. So that mon may have to be something to look out for in Little Cup. But yeah, here in RU where Brambleghast is at, I think it's going to appreciate it quite a bit. I don't know what this thing does with I don't know how well Tailwind stuff works in RU, but maybe you can do something with this in RU. Let me just see what this thing does real quick in RU, if it has anything. Nope, just any other, almost any ability. Okay, it doesn't have anything with this mon yet. There's nothing yet in RU with it, but I'm sure it's getting its usage. Because, I mean, it's a spinner and a spiker. So, like, those are already, like, good qualities to have. And now that it has, like, strong ghost stab, this mon may be able to go places. Maybe. But, yeah, that covers for Brambleghast. Next is Toad. Toad gets Toxic and Knockoff. I feel like I saw it have those moves already. Especially Toxic. But I guess that's new. I feel like I saw Toxic before, though. Alright, well, it has Toxic now. So now it can cover for everything with Toxic plus Spore. I feel like it did have it already, but okay, whatever. I'm not really gonna, like, go any further than that. Actually, you know what? Let me check real quick. Let me just go to, let me go here, to this thing. Let's see, what mon is this? This is, I can't tell. That's Drac. Okay, this is Gen 8. Okay, Gen 9. Nimble Pawmot. I just want to see Toad real quick. Watch roll. Okay, this is all the Gen 9 mons. Bostiff, Grafii, Brambleghast. Here's Toad. So did Toad get Toxic naturally? Okay, no, it doesn't get it naturally. Unless through... No. Oh, it gets it through Egg Move. Okay, never mind. So it must have got it through something here. No, it got it through Amoonguss. Yeah, never mind. Okay, so that's not new. None of these are new. It already had these things. Alright, so it just gets them now through Move Tutor. Alright, so next is going to be Scovillain. Scovillain got Grassy Glide. That's cool for Grassy Surge things. So that could be a nice pair with a Thwackey. But outside that, though, yeah, that's whatever. Rillaboom gets high horsepower. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So now it has a way to cover for its check and fire. Cover for its check and fire, so that's not too bad. I'll definitely appreciate having that. And I mean, look at the mon's design and just look at the move itself. You think it should get high horsepower because it's a freaking engine. Like, it should always it should already have that move, like, in its move slot. But yeah, it has high horsepower now, so I guess that's cool. So run your shift gear sets with high horse, steel coverage, and then like poison coverage, or whatnot. I think it gets rock coverage too. No, it doesn't. It should get rock coverage though. But yeah, you could Terra Rock with it if you want to, or Terra Fire. By the way, this is good, so I'd appreciate that. A Sheer Force mon, or a Shift Gear mon that has ground coverage is nice. Unfortunately, Shift Gear would, or unfortunately, like, cause I saw some comments about what's it called, like Clay not getting ground coverage, being like one of the first Shift Gear mons ever. But now Rillaboom gets it out of nowhere. It's kind of crazy how things work like that. Anyway, Cyclizar gets Scale Shot. I don't have much else to say about that. I don't think Cyclizar even gets like Sword Stance. I know it gets Dragon Dance because it's a dragon, obviously, but I don't know if it gets Sword Stance. I think it's Sword Stance, I would appreciate that more. Let's see. You get Shift Gear, but like I don't think you really need Scale Shot like that. And Cyclizar is a weird mon anyway. Like, it's a oh, it doesn't get Dragon Dance. That's weird, huh? You don't get Dragon Dance, but you get Shift Gear. I mean, I guess that makes sense. But yeah, so it gets Scale Shot. I don't know what to say about that. I don't think it really needs it, but cool, it got it. Earthworm gets high horsepower. I don't know what to say about that. It already has Earthquake. High horse is whatever. Again, similar to what I already mentioned before with Grassy Surge. You can run that with Grassy Surge stuff and just go from there. Outside that, though, it doesn't really matter too much. Alright. Next is, sorry, I'm a little stuffed up. I don't know why. Next is going to be Poltergeist. Yeah, another Poltergeist user. Houndstone. This is a mon that, after it got banned, people were wanting this mon to get like ghost coverage in Poltergeist, and now it got it. So I believe this mon can actually be a Sand Sweeper now that it has, like, actual stab. So I do think, pairing this with like Hippowdon or even T-Tar and Yu-Yu, or even into yeah, pairing it with T-Tar or Hippowdon and Yu-Yu is gonna be really nice. Maybe even an OU as well, but I think I might be That one might be a bit of a stretch, but still, Poltergeist is nice. This one definitely needed it because, you know, can't use Last Respects in Smogon for Smogon, but I mean, I think even VGC will appreciate it too. I think VGC will appreciate this move a lot for Houndstone. Because, I mean, with Last Respects, all your mons have to die first before the move actually works. So yeah. Now it has something that it can actually just use straight up without having to rely on Last Respects, Last Respects, like, actual power. But, yeah. Next is going to be Flamigo. Flamigo gets Lunge. That's whatever. Next. I mean, it doesn't really need it. I guess it's cool for, like, nah, it doesn't need it. Like, Flamigo's Scrappy hits everything. So, like, I guess it could cover for... No, you already have... Brave Bird and CC's all this mon needs. Lunge doesn't really matter, but it's cool to have. Alright, so Titan. They gave it Knockoff for some reason, and it has high horsepower. Knockoff is pretty good. You know, belly drum user, slash rush user as well. Not bad. Definitely not bad. This is the fastest belly drum user we have with Knockoff. Now, obviously, it doesn't hit as hard as Azumarill because of Azumarill ability. But it's still usable, I think. I don't know if it needs it, though, because, like, you have to drop one of its, like, coverage options. Because on the belly drum sets, it runs Crash or Spinner. I think it does get Spinner. Let me check real quick. I think Titan does get Spinner, though. Let me check real quick. Actually, I already have it over here. I think Titan gets Spinner already. It already has Spinner, but again, you have Crash. They get Spear too, so I guess you can run like a loaded dice set with it with belly drum. So there's that too if you want to go that route. But yeah, usually you'd run like ice coverage, ground coverage, and then like, you know, maybe randomly water coverage if you want to Terra Water to get your stab with this, or even Play Rough too. It does get Superpower as well, but Superpower is kind of a more niche option. But again, or also Shard, like you can run Shard too for the priority, so it'd be like Shard, Crash, and then like Earthquake, for the belly drum sets. Knockoff is nice. But like I said, it's not super necessary, but it's cool to have. And high horsepower, again, like going back to the Grassy Surge thing, works better on Grassy Surge. Alright, Veluza gets Flip Turn. If I recall correctly, Veluza is a type of mon that needs setup to work. So I don't think Flip Turn really helps it, but I guess for the lower tiers it's nice to have. Where's Veluza at anyway? I think it's in... Is it in PU? I don't think it's in PU. Let me check. Where's Veluza at? Veluza is in PU. Yep, there it is. Okay. So yeah, yeah, it doesn't really need Flip Turn like that. It's cool, but like it doesn't need it. So that's my thoughts on it. I feel like this mod should be evolved. I don't know why this mod didn't evolve, but I guess they really wanted to make it like they really wanted to use that fillet away thing and just like make it its own thing. I feel like this one would be a little bit better if it had, I feel like this one would be a little bit better if it had an evolution, but oh well. Anyways, next is gonna be Clodsire. Clodsire did not get Scald. Rip to Clodsire. So it seems like again like the whole like ground, the whole like mudfish category of mon. Again, like I want to touch on this topic really quick. It feels like a lot of these mons, again, like Clodsire, Quagsire, Gastrodon, what else? Like, any of those mons in that Mudfish category are not getting Scald. And I want to make this prediction now, before anyone else does, but I don't think Swampert's getting Scald when it comes back. I don't see it. It might get lucky and get Toxic still, maybe, but I don't see Scald coming back on Swampert, which is really sad because that was one of its really, like, that mon, defensive Swampert was something that was pretty much like really solid for UU, and even like for OU at a time when the mon was still OU, because I mean Swampert when it came into Gen 8 it was OU for a minute, which is like crazy to say because that flip turn combo with Toxic and Scald is like crazy good. It's insanely good. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. That set a lot. But yeah, I don't know if it's gonna get Scald. even if it gets toxic, like it'll still no toxic will at least like make it work still. But if it doesn't get Skull, then I mean it has to rely on something else. And I don't believe Swampert got Scorching Sands last gen either. It only got Flip Turn. But let me check real quick with Swampert. Cause yeah, the Mon dropped out of UU towards the end of Sword and Shield. I don't believe it got Scorching Sands. No, I didn't get Scorching Sands. Yeah, no Scorching Sands. So unless they give it that, then maybe it can work. But again, I'm not expecting it to keep Skull, unfortunately. If it gets lucky to keep Toxic, great. But if not, I mean, eh. I mean, another really cool thing would be if it gets Knockoff. That would be kind of cool. I could kind of see it if it gets Knockoff. Because that would be really sick. That'd be really damn sick. But yeah, I'm not expecting Swampert to get Skull back or Toxic. So I'm just gonna say that now. Clodsire, I doubt it's gonna get Scorching Sands either. Just gonna say this now. I doubt these mons are gonna get these options. So again, they're really like trying to break apart the whole like Mudfish category and have them be their own signature thing. Even though they have like similar movesets anyway. But again, the Quagsire family just seems to be more of the Hatcher stacking, taunting things. Gastrodon's just gonna be the water absorber. Seismitoad at least still seems to be the most versatile. But again, we don't know if Seismitoad's coming back in. I don't think it's coming back in this DLC. But when it eventually does come back, we don't know how that mon's gonna really be performing. But maybe it'll have like a pretty decent move pool change as well. But yeah, that's enough of that. Alright, Farafrig has to wait for Expanding Force, so we'll wait and see when that happens in the coming DLC. The Dunsparce, my bad. The Dunsparce gets Toxic, Dual Wing Beak, Lunge, and Scale Shot. That's pretty good for NU, right? It's a mon that gets Toxic. That's always great. Dual Wing Beat is, I guess, on a Quail, so that could be interesting. Lunge is also kind of crazy, but like, or not crazy, my bad. It's like, okay, it's just throwaway move. Scale Shot's interesting. Again, like I already said about the Quail set, Quail Scale Shot could do some pretty nasty things, especially when you add the Serene Grace stuff to it as well. With not the stat boost, my bad, but with the like the status, effect of like Body Slam and stuff after Coil and everything. The Dunsparce could do some things with that, but I don't know if it's going to be that crazy. I do think Taunting is going to be the one that really makes this mon stand out the most. So we may see some similar things to, I was going to say some similar things to like what, because I remember Zygarde running Taunting at some points in the metagame. But I might be wrong. I might be tripping about that, but still, Taunting isn't bad. Definitely a good move no matter what. King Gambit doesn't get knockoff like I mentioned in the last part. So I mentioned in the previous part that the King Gambit line doesn't get knockoff anymore. So as you see, King Gambit doesn't get it anymore. It has Lash Out though, so I didn't touch on Lash Out, but I do think that Lash Out is going to be really cool on it in VGC, because in VGC, you gotta have your Intimidate mons around. You gotta have your Landorus, you gotta have your Arcanine, something that can intimidate things and just get momentum for you. I do think that King Gambit with Lash Out is going to be really strong, especially paired with Chien-Pao. That just sounds like death. That right there just sounds like straight up death. And I mean, Chien-Pao gets it anyway. Spoiler alert, it gets it as well. So like, you got double Lash Out things. That just sounds nasty as hell. So good luck to the VGC players out there. Shout out my boy Everglade. Shout out Glade. You're gonna have to deal with all that shit. Anyways, Great Tusk gets Roar. That's cool. I think that's a really good utility option for it. It definitely needs some kind of momentum gainer besides, spinning and bulking up. Phase is nice. Phasing is very nice, especially against bulk up sets. So the defensive set has a way of getting around its check and again, opposing Great Tusk. But also just like any like setup sweeper in general. So Phase is always good. Screamtail gets Misty Explosion. That's whatever. It doesn't need it. It doesn't really need it. It's a mon that's fit to be, a setter and whatnot. So it's fit to be a screen setter and, just fit to be straight up utility. I don't think Misty Explosion really helps it, but, whatever. Slither Wing gets High Horsepower and Heat Crash. Heat Crash is nice. That's really nice. I don't know how, I don't know how much Slither Wing weighs, but I do think that it has another way of taking advantage of the sun outside of having to just weaken itself with Heat Crash or Flare Blitz. So that's not bad. Definitely not bad for it. Iron Treads gets high horsepower. That's not bad. It's definitely not bad. Again, going back to Slither Wing 2, combining like Grassy Surge things, that's not bad actually for both of them. I do think they'll both appreciate like some kind of like grass stab they can use on grassy terrain stuff. So it's not bad. Definitely not bad. I think Treads might like it more actually. I think I might like it a little bit more. I mean, I know in VGC, Great Test also does the same thing too with a high horsepower. But also, you know, Headlong Rush is better anyway, so they do like either or. And you know, they can kind of do the same thing. So yeah. Next is gonna be Iron Hands. Iron Hands does not get knockoff. That is very disappointing. That's so disappointing, man. They didn't give that mon knockoff. They gotta give it something, man. It's getting upper hand. It's already been confirmed, you know, from the DLC, from the DLC trailer that it's gonna get upper hand as one of the new moves. But still, man, no knockoff is so ass. They gotta give this mon some kind of dark coverage. Like, if Darkest Lariat's gonna be a TM again, they gotta give it that or something. Cause like, this Hariyama clone that's inferior to the original Hariyama, in a sense. It's not inferior in this, like it. Not inferior, but you get what I mean. This thing is like, oh, come on, man. This mon should have knockoff. Like it should have at least like some kind of dark step or dark coverage. Fling ain't it, man. Fling ain't it. Unless you want to be like Envy and run like big nugget shit. But like, I love Envy by the way. But yeah, nah. This mon needs some kind of like utility option. Knockoff's just really good, but again, me, I'm just like LARPing so much on knockoff, but it's just a good move in general. It's just sad that unfortunately it doesn't get it on like compared to like it's the mon is based off of having it. But yeah, that's gonna be Iron Hands. All right, so next is Iron Thorns. Iron Thorns gets high horsepower but not knockoff like T-Tar. So just, you know, adding more inferiority to Iron Thorns. It's still gonna be an inferior T-Tar, which is sad to say, but it is what it is. I don't know how this mon is doing in RU right now, but I do know that again this mon just is not really. This mon is just so disappointing, man. I'm very disappointed in Iron Hands, man, or in Iron Thorns. Like, it should have been a better T-Tar. That's what it should have been, but like that Rock Electric typing is so. I mean, I'll give it credit. It's the best Rock Electric type that we have right now. It's the best one, but this one, once Terra's gone from this generation, we move on to Gen 10. Gen 10, jeez. I don't know what this mon's gonna be doing after that, because I mean Terra's the only thing that's really like letting this mon even stay where it's at. So I don't know where Iron Thorns is gonna go from here, but still, it's pretty disappointing. Just looking at this thing. Just looking at this thing. Yeah, I hate to say it. It kind of is though. Yeah, like there's really not much of a difference between Iron Thorns and T-Tar besides the typing. And it just being like, you know, weaker on the Spidops side. Like that's really what it is. Well, Spidops and special attack. But yeah, just an inferior T-Tar. All right, so next we got Baxcalibur. It gets skill shot and high horsepower. I already mentioned this. The mon's banned now, but again, skill shot's really what made this mon like get banned from OU, because Veil is strong with it. It gets multiple opportunities to set this up. It just sword stands pretty safely under its screen, plus hail or plus snow. Basically you're like maxed out on defense. So Bax is just gonna eat hits and just set up and just do whatever it wants. So just one sword stance up, scale shot, you're good to go. You're good to go. High horsepower is cool. A nice utility thing for nurse utility could be used. Oh wait, my bad. I'm thinking about. I mean, I guess you're not using that. You're not using that against your like own mon in VGC. But it's cool for terrain things. So you know, guys, terrain stuff. Outside of that though, yeah, Bax was very strong with skill shot, or with the loaded dice set with skill shot, Icicle Spear and EQ. it was too much. It was too much for the metagame. Like, again, this update only dropped on the 13th. So, like, and Bax got banned, I believe, on the 18th? I think it got banned on the weekend. It got banned on the weekend, I think. But either way, like, this thing is just busted, mon. Busted ass mon. Busted ass mon, indeed. Alright, Chien-Pao, I already mentioned it. Gets Lash Out now. Ting-Lu gets Lash Out too. I think that's going to be better for it compared to... No, I lied, but it's still good. It's still good. It's still pretty good. Its stats get lowered, you get punished. Simple as that. Intimidate, Lash Out. Moonblast, drop, Lash Out. Anything like that, yeah, it's Lash Out time. So I think Ting-Lu's going to like that for its more, like, you know, bulky sets with AV and VGC. I don't know if it'll really work in OU, though. I don't think it really needs it, but it's cool to have. Chien-Yu gets Burning Jealousy. Nothing's really setting up on it because the mon is very offensively, is just too damn offensive. There's no mon that can set up on it safely, so I don't think that move really matters. Alright, Roaring Moon gets knockoff. That's cool. That's gonna be a great move that sets it apart from its brethren in Salamence. So knockoff is really nice on that. I do think that band sets are gonna like that. Sword Sands, or not Sword Sands, DD sets might appreciate that as well. Again, like, just stronger crunch. It's good, very good, because of an item anyway. Without an item, you know, crunch is better anyway. But you know, with an item, yeah, knockoff is still gonna be the better option. Yeah, still really good option for it. Again, Sword Sands can appreciate it. Band, Scarf, all of them are gonna like that set. All right, are gonna like this move. This mon made a rising back into OU because of knockoff. So we'll see. We'll see where this mon goes. But yeah, like all the mons that, you know, we expect to drop, again, Roaring Moon and Garchomp, they're coming back. I mean, Roaring Moon got banned anyway, or got banned out of UU anyway. But yeah, so they're coming back, which is cool. All right, Valiant gets Vacuum Wave. That's cool on spec sets. I would argue like Calm Mind sets. I would argue that, but Orisphere is better. If you really want to go that route, Orisphere is better. But like, if you're running Calm Mind, you're usually not going to run Fighting Stab anyway. Because I mean, Moonblast, Bolt. Because I mean, like Thunderbolt and Moonblast are already good enough in general. Or even like Moonblast, Shadow Ball, Moonblast like Psyshock, all those things. They're going to be better than running like, you know, Fighting Stab on the Calm Mind set. So if you're going Vacuum Wave, you probably want to go Band on. You're probably going to go, not Band. You probably want to go Specs with it. And just go from there. Alright, Koraidon. Koraidon gets Scale Shot, Wing Beat, and Heat Crash. Scale Shot's nice. Very cool. It doesn't get Sword Dance. Or it doesn't get Dragon Dance. So I don't think so. I don't believe it gets Dragon Dance. Let me check Koraidon real quick. Also, just I need to play Ubers. I have to play Ubers, but I haven't done it yet, but I need to play Ubers. Koraidon. Yeah, no Dragon Dance. Very interesting that the legendaries don't get Dragon Dance in this. But yeah, so pretty much Koraidon's only way of getting boosting its speed is from Agility or from Flame Charge. So Skill Shot's not bad on that. I think it'll appreciate that. Definitely not a bad option for it. Doing Beats, whatever. Heat Crash is interesting. Again, similar to what I mentioned with the Moth with Slither Wing. Heat Crash is nice to have in the sun. But I don't think it really, like, you know, needs it like that. But it's still cool to have. You know, just to, like, have that little boost, whatnot. I don't know how heavy Koraidon is either. So if Koraidon's, like, heavy enough, then Heat Crash can work for it. But, like, there are mons that are in Ubers that are probably going to be heavier than Koraidon anyway. So it's probably better just to rely on Blitz in that sense. Walking Wake gets randomly Scald, Flip Turn, and Knockoff. What the fuck? Why? Why did they give these things Scald? Why'd they give this Scald, Flip Turn, and Knockoff? That's so random. Scald's good. It's good on. It's gonna be very good on Walking Wake, and no one's really paying attention to that right now, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. But yeah, Scald is very good on this thing. I think Scarf sets will like it. I do think that Specs is gonna like it as well, outside of Rain or outside of Sun. And yeah, if you're using it in Sun, then you know, or if you're using, you know, Walking Wake in Sun, you still go Steam, Flame, and then Dragon Stab. or even like Terra if you want to go that route and drop Dragon Pulse and go like Terra something, or Terra Electric, whatever you want. If you're running it outside of Rain or outside of Sun, then I think Scald's gonna be your better option over over like Flamethrower or Dragon Pulse. Probably over Dragon Pulse, if I'm being honest. But again, you could drop it over Flame if you want to go specs with it. So you can go like Hydro, Scald, Dragon Pulse, and then Draco Meteor at that point. If you're going Scarf, then you can go Scarf for Flip Turn. So you can run like Scarf Flip Turn with like, you know, Hydro, Draco, Pulse, and then like Flip Turn, or Scald over Dragon Pulse and then Flip Turn. Or again, Flamethrower if you really want to. If you're running it on Sun, and then drop Hydro for like, you know, Steam Eruption, or for not Steam Eruption, for Hydro Steam. But yeah, either way, Scald is nice. Or either way, like these are pretty good utility options. Knockoff is a very weird one. I feel like Knockoff might be something that will be better, like in terms of like draft league stuff. So I think Knockoff might be better there in that case. But yeah, besides that though, Walking Away definitely got some weird stuff. So yeah, okay, so that covers everything for all of the mons that got moves in the DLC for Teal Mask. I don't have too much else to say. I will say that I am, you know, currently playing, and I gotta say that right now I do enjoy these changes. I do enjoy seeing all the new mons right now. Again, Okidoki, Fezandipity, Munkidori, and Ogerpon, all 4 of its forms have been doing very well. Blood Moon Ursaluna has been doing very well too. But of the 2 mons that look like they may be pretty damn oppressive, it seems like Blood Moon and Ogerpon Fire, Heart Flame, or Heartstone seem to be pretty crazy. But again, it's only the beginning. It's only the beginning. So we'll see what happens with time. But yeah, I'm definitely curious about where the meta goes with those guys, because they seem very fun. Especially Blood Moon Ursaluna. I love that thing. That Blood Moon Ursaluna is amazing. Its Calm Mind sets are crazy. Yeah, the Calm Mind set is really the set that really like stands out with it. But yeah, I'll probably do a video about them at some point later on. But for now, I think that's gonna cover my thoughts. That's gonna cover all my thoughts and just like talking about the DLC moves coming back for this. Or they came back for Teal Mask, for the Teal Mask metagame. So that's gonna be that. Hope you all enjoyed. If you guys did, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Join my Discord, the Bushido Gang, and subscribe for some more content on the channel. Let me know if there's anything I missed within this video. And yeah, also subscribe. On my way to reaching 600 subscribers. I would like to hit that goal sometime before the end of October. That'd be really cool. If we can hit that goal, then I'll try and see if we can do something with that. So yeah, that's going to be that. Be safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you for some more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet videos. Peace out.